Good afternoon, everyone. Tonight, we'd like to present our project called 3Dex. So, what is 3Dex? 3Dex is an online community-driven 3D model marketplace designed to streamline the process from digital design to physical productions. In these presentations, we will explain the problem, our proposed solutions, and how we plan to build the system. Okay, moving to the background. So the advancements of 3D printing technology has significantly changed how digital designs are turned into physical objects. Nowadays, both individuals and small business can create customized end products more easily. However, despite this progress, the ecosystem is still highly fragmented. Designers, print service providers, and customers often use separate platforms. These create inefficiencies in communication, distributions, and productions. As a result, users struggle to achieve a smooth workflow from finding a design to producing a final product. Moving on to problem identifications. Currently, there is no centralized platforms that connects all the key of the stakeholders in the 3D printing ecosystems. Designers face difficulties in distributing their models and reaching potential customers. At the same time, customers struggle to find reliable and accessible print service providers. In addition, communication between users is often inconsistent, especially when discussing customizations, materials, and production timelines. Most existing platforms only focus on one aspect, either model distributions or printing service, but not both. So this leads to inefficiency and increases user effort. Moving to problem statements. So based on these issues, we can define the core problems. There is currently no unified system that enables seamless interactions between creators, print providers, and customers. This lack of integrations causes fragmentations in the workflow and reduces overall of efficiency. It also limits accessibility and makes collaborations more complicated. As a result, users experience unnecessary frictions when trying to discover, purchase, and produce 3D models. Now, our objectives. To address these problems, we define several key objectives. First, we aim to develop a unified platform that connects all users into one ecosystem. Second, we want to simplify the workflow, making it easier for users to move from discovering a model to producing a physical product. And the third, we focus on improving collaborations and communications between users. We also aim to provide real-time insights such as availability, capabilities, and updates. Overall, our goal is to create a more efficient, accessible, and seamless experience from all users involved. Alright, so this is the solutions that we are proposing. To achieve these objectives, we propose 3Dex as our solutions. 3Dex is an online community-driven marketplace that integrates the entire digital to physical production process. In this platform, creators can upload and distribute their 3D models. Print providers can offer fabrication services based on their resources, and customers can browse models, follow creators, and directly request printing services within the same system. By combining all these features in one platform, 3Dex reduces fragmentations and creates a seamless user experience. In short, we are building not just a platform but a complete ecosystem. Right, lanjut.
Okay, move on for the method plan. We separate this into four sections. So next. Okay. The development of 3Dex is built on an agile software development paradigm. We choose agile because it supports incremental feature delivery, meaning the system isn't built all at once, but continuously refined based on the feedback and evolving requirements. This is especially important for a full stack marketplace like 3Dēverse, where back-end service and front-end interface and user interaction must be developed in parallel while keeping the system coherent. Next. To move fast with a small team, we incorporate fourth generation technique or 4G. This means leaning heavily on high-level frameworks, reusable components, and automated tools rather than writing everything from scratch. Technologies like modern front-end frameworks such as Next.js, React, and etc. Back-end services architecture and ORM-based database management significantly cut down manual coding. The result is that our team spend less time on low-level implementation and more time on system integration and actual business logic. Next. On top of that, we integrate fifth generation techniques or 5GT through generative AI and AI agents. Generative AI assists with code generation, documentation, and debugging, and rapid prototyping, which directly reduce development time and cognitive load. AI agent then handle repetitive workflows like test generation, API validation, and deployment scripting. Together, this hybrid approach lets a small team punch well above its weight, achieving productivity levels comparable to much larger team by augmenting human effort with intelligence automation. Next. Okay, for the timeline, the entire development process is structured into clearly defined phases over 3 to 4 months. Each phase targets specific system components and progressively builds towards a fully functional platform. Agile iteration runs within its phase, ensure continuous testing, validation, and improvement at every step. This phase structure gives us the flexibility of agile and the clarity of a roadmap.
Right. So moving on with me. Anyways, thank you to my friends who have presented prior to my turn. And so for this part, I'm going to be explaining the breakdown of the timeline. That is the 3 to 4 months of development. And so we separate it into 4 phases, key phases. So in the first phase, we have system setups and developing the core features, such as the catalog, the login page, and Google authentication process. And so this one, the output for this phase is actually just a minimum valuable product. That is the basic front end and back end. And moving on to phase 2, which is the marketplace development. And this is where the core platform feature starts to arise, such as model uploading, the addition of multiple users, product details, purchasing, downloading, and the addition of print providers as well. And this is why we gotta complete the marketplace flow so quickly, because we gotta do it in phase 2. And for the phase 3 is the integration and interaction. So this is where we test out most of the program that we've developed, mostly for the front end backend and database, where the QA plays a huge role here, and as well as the project manager. This is where the fate of the program lies. So this is the part where the PM makes the decision whether to publish it or just develop it again. And then to phase 4, after it has been agreed upon and everything is all right, we go into optimization and deployment. And so we use a lot of tools here to help us out. And we use like Jest for testing, Zod for validation, automatic validation, CI/CD for automatic deployment to our VPS, and we also do some performance tuning by how do you say it? By examining the performance of our program within our VPS. So that is all about the breakdown. I think it is pretty straightforward for the agile development of 3DX. Proceed, please. Right. So this is where a lot of other tools have come to play. So we use mostly generative AI because the current age is all about generative AI. Why? Because we're using the agile method, and agile method requires us to develop things very, very fast. And we use AI in almost everything, because reading documentation manually for each framework takes a lot of time. And with so many frameworks that we're using, like Express, and then we have Tailwind, Next.js, and then Prisma, I don't think we're all gonna be able to achieve that in just 4 months. It's probably more realistically like 1 to 1.5 years. That is with manual coding. So with generative AI, of course, we're gonna reduce that time. And we use generative AI for the code generation, for the debugging, testing, and of course, we create the documentation with AI because AI scans everything from the root level up until the deepest level of our program. And for DevOps, it assists us on creating the CI/CD pipeline with some fine tunings from the system admin, that is me, of course. And this helps us speed up everything by a lot. And I'm surprised we actually did it in like almost less than 3 months. So that's a congratulation for us. Okay. So let's proceed. Next. Okay, so that's basically it for our presentation. If you want to view our website, you can go to https://3dex.studio. And if you want to view our repository where we collaborated on the project, you can visit https://github.com/Horizon/3dx. And this has been our project, our proudest project ever, 3DX in 2026. And overall, it has been a very great time on developing the project, and I will be seeing the presentation unfold in the class soon. Thank you.